Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. My name is Cheryl Weens. I'm a working mom living in the township, and I'm here today to speak to you about the desperate need for childcare and after-school programming in the Township of Langley. I'd like to begin my presentation in July of 2020 when staff brought forward a childcare action plan for your approval. The Childcare Action Plan was partially completed in collaboration with the City of Langley. The Langley City Action Plan was completed and endorsed by Langley City Council on June 15, 2020. The Township's Childcare Action Plan was submitted for consideration on July 27, 2020, and still has yet to get this Council's endorsement. Just a couple of weeks ago, this Council passed a motion making it clear that the Township of Langley considers the funding of additional childcare capacity to be a provincial government responsibility. As staff explained in their July 27th report to Council, an endorsed childcare action plan may actually be helpful in securing provincial childcare funding. Surely then, this Council should want to endorse the Childcare Action Plan at its earliest opportunity. Provincial funding or not though, staff estimate the cost to implement the non-exploratory actions contained within the plan to be less than $10,000, an amount which can be accommodated within existing budgets. Now, the action plan identifies 5 priority areas for childcare in the township. Priority 5 is to enhance before and after school recreation programming. There are 3 recommended actions under this priority, and the first is to enhance and expand the Active Beyond the Bell program specifically. Now, enhancing before and after school care programming is identified as a priority because it is the school-age kids, those 6 to 12 years old, that have the lowest childcare coverage rate in the township. But instead of expanding this essential service, the township eliminated it. The township formally suspended Active Beyond the Bell in September 20 due to the pandemic and has not resumed it since. And that's not all, unfortunately. The township's webpage for Active Beyond the Bell says it will not be opening registration for the foreseeable future, even though it acknowledges that parents need significant lead time in order to register with a service provider. The website implies that staff do not have an ability to offer the service safely during the COVID-19 pandemic. However, the current gatherings and events order does not bar programming like Active Beyond the Bell. The order issued by Dr. Henry simply puts in place certain conditions that need to be met. Interestingly, Surrey and Abbotsford are both currently running essential after-school programming, and both are now taking registrations for the fall. While it may have made sense at earlier points in the pandemic to suspend Active Beyond the Bell, we are now in a different position. It is reasonable to expect that before next fall, everyone eligible for a vaccine in BC will have had an opportunity to get a shot. Many parents have been struggling through this past year without after-school programs and childcare, and it needs to stop. How can we be told it is safe to go to work, but not for our children to have after-school care? You cannot have one without the other. It is important to note that decisions like the one to suspend Active Beyond the Bell have disproportionate impacts on women and essential workers. Which brings me to my next slide. I'd like to read you recent comments made by 2 Langley moms in response to a post I wrote about wanting Active Beyond the Bell to resume in the fall. Both moms are also educators in our community. Lindsay McClellan wrote, "I'm a teacher in the district and I am in need of after-school care for my own children to continue to extend my day after the bell. I need the Active Beyond the Bell program." Melody Ann writes, "I'm still not working my regular job as a special education assistant a year later because I have no after-school care. This is getting ridiculous. Abbotsford has opened their similar program. There is no excuse." Those comments and others motivated me to launch a petition asking you, Mayor and Council, not only to commit to bringing back Active Beyond the Bell for the fall, but to support continued staff participation on the Langley Children Committee and approve the proposed Childcare Action Plan as soon as possible. 367 people signed on to that petition in less than 1 week. The signatures and comments have been submitted for your review. So will you please commit to bringing back Active Beyond the Bell in the fall? Will you reconfirm your commitment to the township's participation on the Langley Children Committee and approve the Childcare Action Plan at your earliest opportunity? Exhausted parents and caregivers all over the township are counting on your support. Thank you.